burn them to smithereens. I will burn the crack cocaine to smithereens. Alright? And then like a fight broke out because the guy like didn't have any drugs and he needed to get drugs, and then so he just started fighting.
Money this, money that. How do we make it? How do we keep it? How do we spend it? Well, let's just say I've got an idea of how I'm going to make it.
Just as I arrived, the drug war arrived, and this was a time when in Mexico the murder rate was really spiralling. It doubled in the space of just 2 years. And so quite quickly I found that this was...
Surprised this guy didn't get murdered. No offence to him, like at all. Like, he seems like a lovely guy. But look at him, scrawny guy, look at that. You know, a little bit, like just a little bit concerned, like who's sending that guy to Mexico? Maybe they should have a word with themselves.
Quickly you found that the subject very often returned to this subject of the drugs business. And so I started writing a lot more about it than I had expected. And I got into this habit of doing...
I think he's on drugs right now, if I'm honest with you. I'm not kidding, I think he's on drugs right now. They sell them on Camden High Street, you can see it quite often. Mainly on the corner, just beyond Poundland. I did see someone selling what I believe to be crack there. Stay to the end of the video, maybe I have something for you.
I began to wonder if actually the drug story was, in fact, a big business and economic story that we'd been missing. So I started to try and think about it in those terms. And
get on with
it.
it.
An ordinary case where the Mexican government discovered a gigantic cache of marijuana near Tijuana. It was the biggest seizure in Mexico's history. It was more than 100 tons of the stuff that they found in a warehouse on the edge of the city.
100 tons. That weighs about 100 tons. What? That's like 1 million cars. What?
But they got all this stuff, they got all the marijuana, they unpacked it, and they made a gigantic bonfire out of the stuff, doused it with gasoline and set the thing alight. And it was an incredible sight that the police were there having to make sure that no one was standing downwind of this big fire, because it was like a 100-ton joint. And anyway, this represented a blow against organised crime to the tune of about $500 million. That was how much this particular seizure was valued at. And it was fairly straightforward. It sounds very kind of sensible. All they'd done, they'd figured out the rough retail price of...
All I'm hearing is £500 million. Folks, I'm going to say it now, I'm getting into the drug business. I'm going to run a drug cartel. Now, I'm just reading this, watching this, just to make sure that actually what I'm doing is right. That, you know, what I'm making is going to make me some moolah.
in the States, because that's where these drugs were heading. And they'd conservatively estimated that it's worth maybe $5 a gram in the United States. And then they'd multiplied that out over 100 tons and arrived at this figure of $500 million. How insane this is. Imagine if you tried to do this with another product like coffee, for instance, and you said, okay, well, the retail price of a cup of coffee in the United States in Starbucks is, what is it, $3, $4, something like that. And in that...
Not on Camden. But a pot of coffee will set you back about 10 quid. I'm serious, I'm not kidding. It set you back about 10 quid.
You get perhaps 2 grams of coffee, so maybe coffee costs a couple of dollars per gram. So that means that a kilo of coffee seized in Mexico must be worth $2,000. Obviously not the case, right? Or imagine trying to calculate the price of a cow using the price of a steak in Washington, D.C. You'd get a very...
What is going on? He's talking about cows and pigs and elephants and giraffes. And numbers, all these numbers. Just how much money am I going to make? You know, how much money I'm going to make. Also, I don't want to be doing this. I want to do crack. I want to make crack. Ridiculous.
Bigger.
It's a lot of money, though.
This is exactly what we're doing. So I did...
It's a lot of money, though.
This.
Okay, that was a bit boring. Look at that.
Becomes your website.
I was out with a bunch of friends and we're drinking. So I go do a beer run with a buddy of mine. Come out of the parking lot. I rolled the stop sign. I was really scared. I had a suspended license. Inside my backpack, that was close to $300,000. It was mis-
So much money!
I told my friend, when I put it in park, I'm gonna jump out and run. I grabbed the backpack, I push on the brake, throw it in park, and it was like the gun at a horse race. I just took off. As soon as I start running, there's a fence. Jump the fence, jump the highway.
Always a fence. Always a fence in a police chase.
They have a canine come out and try to chase me.
What's a canine? What's that? It's that little alien robot thing. Yeah, so I knew that police were up to something a bit suspicious. Got alien robots, have they?
3, 4 in the morning, freezing cold. I decided to turn myself in.
Okay, boring. Don't, look, if you're involved in this kind of stuff, don't talk about turning yourself in. Don't talk about giving up, okay? Please don't do that. Ten to 30 trusted regional lieutenants or wholesalers. Okay, I know someone. Hello! Am I speaking to you?
Yeah.
Will you say that you trust me? Can I trust you?
Yes.
Good. I'm recruiting people for a once in a lifetime opportunity. Are you in something you like be interested in?
Yes, maybe.
Okay, good. You won't tell the police anything that I'm about to tell you?
No.
Good. I am going to become the biggest drug lord in Camden, and I need a trusted drug dealer. And by what you've just said, I believe that I can trust you. So are you in?
No.
That didn't go as planned, so I don't know what to do. I could do it. I could run it, couldn't I? Yeah, I'll run it. I'll run it. Okay, so I'll sell the drugs. So I'm the drug lord that sells the drugs. Now, how do we make the drugs? Okay, maybe some lingo. Coke, rock, snow, blow, white, toot, nose candy, base, flake, powder, and barza, smack. Cooking and drawing up. Okay, here we go. What we want to do, crack. Before you cook, wash your hands with soap. So we need soap and water, and use new alcohol swabs or hand sanitizer gel to do that. If possible, clean the place where you're going to be cooking and drawing up. Get everything you need together in one place. See more ways to reduce your risk of infection. Cook. Put a new sterile cooker on a level surface. If you haven't got a cooker, you can use your clean spoon or metal bottle top. Wait, a clean spoon. Okay, so we've got to cook everything on a clean spoon. I have a spoon. Put a small rock in the cooker. But where? Okay. How do I make that though? Add just enough citric or vitamin C to dissolve the rock. Vitamin C, orange juice. Attach a cap needle to the barrel. Stir the liquid in the cooker with the tip of the cap until everything has dissolved. So what I'm initially thinking, right, is... I'm not going to tell you just yet. You've got to stay to the end of the video for that. Another thing that is really important when you are becoming a drug lord like me is who is going to buy your things. So let's have a look at my customers. So he is someone that will be buying my crack. He looks like a really nice guy actually. He looks like a really nice guy. Crack addiction. Crack addiction is an intense dependency on the smoke or form of cocaine known as crack. It is characterised by compulsive and repeated use despite negative consequences. Crack addiction falls under substance use disorders, where the desire to use the drug outweighs social, medical and other important life aspects. This addiction can cause both physical and mental damage. Physical crack use leads to intense cravings, accelerated heart rate, high blood pressure and reduced appetite. Crawling on their skin. Weight loss, dilated pupils, needle marks, bloodshot eyes, burns on fingers. Okay. Ooh, okay, so I'm just thinking about what I've just seen just now, and I don't think drugs are actually that good for you, in all fairness. Okay. Get out of your head. I think that's illegal, that's murder. Daily rituals, express gratitude, take short breaks. Okay. I think I've got a plan of how this little piggy is going to save people from drugs. Me, Francois Francisco here. This is how I end drugs. How to save the world from drugs. Firstly, I shall be called Francois Francisco, the anti-drug lords. I don't know if you know this, but drugs can hurt people. They aren't just a good time, but they are a little bit of a good time, apparently. Otherwise people wouldn't keep doing them. But they're also bad, and I think I want to get rid of them from the high street. But how will I do this? Well, let me break it down step by step. First thing I'm going to do, we all need a place to do it. I'm going to find somewhere, housing, probably find somewhere that hasn't been used for a while, because I don't particularly want to pay for my retreat. Okay, so we're going to find housing, we're going to go there. But what we're going to do when we go there, we're all going to ask them to sit in a circle, and if they have any drugs on them, we ask to put in the middle, okay? Because druggies always have drugs on them, always got drugs on them. That's why they're always taking drugs, because they've always got drugs on them. So we're going to put them in a circle, and we're going to, but what we're going to do when we've put the drugs in the middle of the circle, I'll burn them to smithereens. I will burn the crack cocaine to smithereens, all right? Take it in, take some deep breaths. They're being burnt to smithereens, okay? Burn to smithereens in the middle of the circle. But what we're going to do after we burn the drugs to smithereens, I hear you ask? We'll take a good long nap, because it said in the thing, take a nap. It said to do that. So I will take a nap with them. And we'll all take a nap and make sure that we're all rested. But then we're going to wake up from a nap, and what we're going to do, we're going to say what we're thankful for. All right? Gratitude was a massive thing on that list. Gratitude. Gratitude. So they're going to be gratitude for things. For me, probably, because I've saved them from drugs. They just needed that first person, so they're going to be, we just say what we're thankful for. And after we've done that, look, come on, we're going to breathe. If anyone feels something walking underneath their skin, we'll have a scratcher on board, and they'll be able to scratch. Probably a fire poker or something that scratches, something along the lines. And they're no longer going to want drugs. Surprise, surprise. I've come through again. I have done the impossible. I have made people not need drugs anymore. That's all right, just one of those things, isn't it? Just one of those things that I can do, what I can provide, okay? And then I'll let them leave. I'll let my little ones leave. Into the world, drug-free, ready for anything. But I suppose it does beg the question, what's going to happen to me when I let them leave? I'm going to get a Nobel Peace Prize, and then I'm going to celebrate like a champion. Only one more thing left to do. Is to get cooking. Hate to be doing this message, but so it was all going well. We found a house, we found a place to live for the druggies, and it was going pretty well. And then I think the problem was because obviously I wanted to burn their drugs. I did tell them to bring drugs with them, and what happened was they just brought drugs, and they just started doing drugs there because they were all in a circle, so they were all just doing drugs together. And then a fight broke out because a guy didn't have any drugs and he needed to get drugs, and then so he just started fighting. So all in all, perhaps didn't work out as much. I did try and read some poetry to them, but it didn't quite work out. So there is, probably should tell the police that there's actually a drug den now, sort of a new one. Like and subscribe. Like if you hate drugs. I know I do. Like if you like drugs as well. So that means everyone's got a like to the video. Yeah, guys, this has been a tough one. I went on a bit of a journey, discovered that making drugs is not for me, saving people from drugs is also not for me. But perhaps a poem, perchance a poem for the drug lords. Drug lords of the world, drugs you sell. Well, let me tell you, I can hear the bell ringing for the sound of the underground, ringing for the sound of the police pound. Boop, boop. For you are to be taken apart. For you are to be hated by Bart Simpson, I reference. Anyway, like, subscribe, share this to everyone that you know. Let's stop drugs. Stay north of the river, stay Camden.